the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Morning.
Good morning. You do some decorating in there?
I finally got some stuff up. Finally.
I like it. We got the LeBron James King collage. Is that a J. Lloyd production?
It is. This is my sports wall.
Love it.
We got the a Dirtball had sent me, I don't remember, this long a signed AJ Green picture. That was in the Smut Studio.
Yeah.
I got this new edition.
Very cool. Big
It's
red
like
machine.
It's like the history of the Reds.
Okay.
So, I mean, it has everything
everybody's
from literally the Nasty Boys to Shotzi to like Cincinnati stuff, a cheese coney to Lou Piniella throwing the bag. It says 4192 and Pete Rose broke the record. I actually got that. A couple summers ago.
You excited for Reds baseball?
I was just talking to somebody about that. In 2 years, I've gone to one game and the ticket was free ever since Dick Bag said, "Where are you going to go?" So, right. I mean, I'm not really excited. I mean, I might, we'll see. It's been 2 years basically since I've paid for a ticket. We'll see if I go to some games.
Well, Andy, this is a great segue into some plugs. A quick plug. I'll be down in Arizona in late March. I'm going to pop in at the House of Comedy once again in Arizona. Late March. The only reason I agreed to do it because spring training. We've been to a few Cincinnati Reds spring training games out there. They're in the Eastern time zone, but they go to Arizona for spring training. The city of Cincinnati can't decide where they belong.
Well, they changed. They were Florida forever.
Yeah.
And then they started going to Arizona. I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago. Let's look it up.
So if there's any dirt balls, we'll be down there. I believe that's not the last weekend in March, but the next to last weekend in March. I know we have some dirt balls down there. You guys want to play some golf, check out a spring training game, come to a show. Follow me on Twitter at Joe Prano. Dates should be up soon.
2009 they went. No. 2010. Look how close I was. I said about 10 to 15 years.
They moved west the same time Joe Prano did.
Yeah, well they share that with Cleveland,
Cub, right? Oh, Cleveland, that's right. It's Goodyear, correct?
Yeah, which is the farthest east for spring training. I was actually looking at photos
the furthest east. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah, it'd be the furthest east. I was actually looking at spring training pics from the first year we went, and I saw some good ones of me and George Foster, me and Brandon Phillips.
That's right.
We was
trying to get you to run on the field that day.
Yeah, by you.
And the dirt balls. I was trying to conjure up some Twitter love.
No, bro, I don't even think Dirty Sports existed.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
Before that?
Yeah, this was before Dirty Sports.
Must have been me just trying to get Andy Ruther's Twitter following to do it.
This is 2013. This is 2013. This is 11 years ago.
We went to spring training before we even did Dirty Sports?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know. Yeah, you were trying to get me to because we had like first row. You were trying to get me to just basically hop over, sprint to the outfit. The debate was, could I make it up the wall?
I knew you couldn't, but I was telling you could. because I just wanted you to.
And as dumb as I was, because I was drinking, I remember that day. It was a Sunday. And then we'd been in town a few days. After that, we left to go back to Los Angeles. And I remember saying to you, dude, I'm gonna get tased. And you're like, you'll be all right. And there was the whole debate of the rental car. Dude, this is like pre-CT. Like we didn't have our in with the rental car. It was well, if I get arrested, what are we gonna do with the rental car? Yeah, no dirty sports. That's just you saying,
Wow.
hey, I want to watch Ruther get his ass kicked.
I just knew it was good for your budding social media career. You know, you're all like things white people do: run on baseball fields.
It's funny you say that. I was actually thinking about the time I live tweeted that Tinder date last night.
Yeah,
which again was your idea. I don't know if you remember how that went down. That was me at your apartment, the one Lincoln Place off of Lincoln Boulevard, the night before, and I said I had a Tinder date, but I gave you the basically I knew she was coming over to hook up. She was like a single mom, and I said, well, we've been texting, and she knows the deal. She's coming over to a little Netflix and chill, and you're like, live tweet it.
I was nothing but fucking good ideas back in the day. God damn. Should have used all these for myself.
You know how much you get canceled? I mean, the things I was saying.
Oh, I know. You can't get canceled. Well, like Bob Dylan said, when you got nothing to lose. It's a great part of our podcast versus if we were on ESPN, for example.
What do you mean?
We could just say whatever we want. You know, we could have Yoshi come on and talk about hitting people. We don't have to then go on and be like, we here at ESPN want to apologize for what Yoshi said on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yoshi Thursdays are now canceled indefinitely.
Yeah, well, like I've always said, I like the joy. I don't know, joy is not the word, but the freedom of independence is pretty nice. And yeah, all those things. Like, I mean, I like you again. You think back at some of the stuff. I mean, you gotta if you look back at some of our titles, it's just unbelievable. The things we titled things. You just go through that. I mean, I could like I'm just thinking of all the defamation lawsuits that athletes or coaches or whoever could have. We were pretty wild and free, which I think is part of it. And speaking of that, wild and free and old dirty sports, I'm gonna have to play something a little later. Chandler Jones made a song for Bill Belichick. I don't know if you saw
nice. I did not see it.
So
I know this is a horrible thing to say. I'm not rooting for it. And I don't think typically, the New Year's death pools or anybody rooting for anything. But can I take Chandler? Don't you get bonus points if they're younger? Can I take Chandler Jones dead at 29 or however fucking old he is? 32?
Let's see how old Chandler Jones is. He is 33.
Yeah.
So he made a song. I'll just play it. He made a song. Obviously, Bill Belichick will no longer coach the Patriots. One of the huge coaching change news stories in the last 24 hours, which have been insane.
Yes.
Never seen anything like this in 24 hours.
Let me ask
hours.
You something. Which one was the biggest shock to you?
Nick Saban.
Really?
Or Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. I was going to say Pete Carroll.
Yeah, probably Pete Carroll, actually.
Because Saban, I guess it was surprising that Saban retired coming off of this, but at the same time, it's like, maybe he sees the way this is going, it's just gonna be harder and harder. And
that's got to be it, by the way.
And he doesn't feel like multiple championships are in his future, right off into the sunset. It's like the way that look at what happened to Belichick. The idea that the Patriots would ever essentially fire Belichick, like they talked about it as if Belichick is going to coach again, wants to coach again, whatever. So essentially a mutual parting of ways, but also if he wants to coach and you don't want him to coach there, well, he was basically fired. So the idea that would ever happen is crazy, but that is precisely what happened to Belichick. Is he had his run and it ended, and it just means so many teams have a Super Bowl and go all in for a Super Bowl and then have to deal with the aftermath of that. So the idea, you talk about the 5-year grace period or whatever. How long is your grace period when you won 6 Super Bowls? Not 3 seasons, apparently.
24 seasons with the Pats, 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 Super Bowl titles, 266 and 120 regular season record. His postseason record 30-12.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. The thought of him being fired. Now, look, we don't know. It could be mutual, right? There could be some sort of, hey, I want to try something new, go somewhere else. There is that possibility. I keep hearing these things about the Falcons with him, and I just say, why?
Right.
The Falcons?
Yeah, it seems weird in terms of what they have versus what other teams have that he could. I mean, there was all this talk of Washington. He's from Washington. He's from blah blah. All these like ties to down there, but he can just stay with the Patriots then, right? Like, why do I need to go to a dumpster fire organization without a quarterback, with a pick right before our pick, without, then now I've got to retrain at least all the guys that are in New England have already been coached by Bill Belichick. So it's like, seems like a very backwards move to go to Washington when you have a very similar circumstance in New England, but nothing has to change. You don't have to move. You don't have to get. So I never understood the Washington thing. But Atlanta, like, to me, and I don't know if it's because have we already penciled in Harbaugh to like the Chargers? Like, I don't know anything about anything, but the Chargers seem like the obvious kind of easy job for somebody, right? You have a quarterback.
Well, you have a quarterback. You have talent on the defense. Now they haven't performed because that.
Well, that certainly probably changed with Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I was reading some stuff, and again, this is all just reports, so take it with a grain of salt. The Chargers would go offensive minded, and I'm thinking, why? The offense will be fine with it with a decent OC. You have to get somebody that can whip that defense into shape.
Also, the idea that Bill Belichick's not an offensive guy is stupid.
Yeah.
We've seen him train. We've seen him.
He adapts to his personnel. Yeah.
Yeah. When it was Tom Brady, game manager, blah, blah, blah. They had all these defensive players. They're winning Super Bowls 17-12 or whatever the fuck those games are. And Tom Brady's throwing for 190 yards. And then when they saw an opportunity to get some offensive players, when they saw a little bit, when they saw some of their defensive players go, whether it was Belichick moving them on because he didn't think he could pay them or them moving on or whatever, he just adjusted. I mean, those Super Bowl teams, the sort of the second version of it were very much offense first.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's going to be fine wherever he goes. In a weird way, I think because of recency bias, there's underappreciation from people, which is absurd.
And the, I'm so sick of the just like the sports commentary of the Brady, Belichick, look at whatever. Like Bill Belichick didn't leave and go, oh, this team is set up to win and they're a coach away. I'll go there. Tom Brady, for every criticism that you have of both of these guys, both of them are so smart, and both of them, that's why the dynasty happened, is because Belichick wanted to run a smart system and Brady was smart enough to run it. Like this whole thing, like Belichick saw that this wasn't sustainable with Brady. And I think Brady saw it wasn't sustainable with Brady and Belichick either. So Brady smartly was like, what team out there is ready to go right now? Like the idea that the Bucks were some, destitute franchise, like Tom Brady knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah. Tom Brady, not to kick a guy when he's already down, but I really don't mind doing it to the guy. But like Aaron Rodgers believed, I can go wherever the fuck I want. It's like, dude, the Jets take careers and chew them up and shit them down a fucking toilet. Like the idea that I'm just going to go make the Jets a contender. Tom Brady is smart enough to have never thought that was a possibility. He's like, where can I go that's locked, loaded, has a good system, has good players, has a good defense, has a good offensive line? Boom. That's why he did it. So like he had the opportunity to go. It's a lot harder for Belichick to pick up and move his system to someplace else that's highly talented. But that's why it seems like, to me, if he's got that opportunity now, go to a Chargers. I know the Falcons have a lot of talent, but like you still don't have a quarterback down there.
Yeah, and that's the most important piece. So why would you go to a team that doesn't have a quarterback? I don't get it.
And doesn't have one of these top picks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if he was saying, "Ooh, I like what they're building, blah blah blah," and I can go take a quarterback, 1 or 2 or 3, or I can get one of the guys. Maybe he likes a guy that he sees he can get at 8 or something like that. Who knows?
And also from a divisional standpoint, the Raiders are dumpster fire. The Broncos are dumpster fire. The Chiefs obviously took a step back this year. Belichick's so competitive. I'm sure he'd love to face Mahomes twice a year. He's already had a good track record against Andy Reid, against the Chiefs.
Now there is the fact that he's Bill Belichick. There's only so many openings, and I'm sure one thing he's weighing is the amount of control he'll have, the ownership that he has to deal with, where he wants to live. That's probably all a factor. So, I don't know what his relationships are with any of these people, but it would be fantastic for the Falcons to get him. I just don't understand it. But obviously people keep talking about it. It's not coming from nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I want to play this song Chandler Jones sung today that's on social media. Again, last we discussed Chandler. We've discussed him a few times, but the main thing was that he claims Josh McDaniels ordered a hit out for Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
He was doing that by his fire pit in his backyard. Which, again, TikTok does not like marshmallow jokes, I learned. S'more jokes. S'more jokes are canceled. Okay, so this is what he made today.
Check. Oh, how I miss you. I just want to kiss you. They just got rid of you. Oh, Bill Belichick. You didn't flatten that ball. It was Tom Brady. You didn't Spygate. You didn't Deflategate. He's innocent. So why fire him when it should have been Mr. Kraft? Oh, Bill Belichick. As long as you cut the check, fight the wrong man. Why fire him? They called it a dynasty. He got 7 Super Bowls. Oh, Bill Belichick,
Bro,
he made me the man I am.
I don't know if you want to say that.
Belichick,
I think it's Leon
fire
Bridges.
him. Yeah, that's the Bill Belichick.
Can I tell you what genre I think that would be classified as? CT easy listening.
Oh, it's so
What the
fucked up.
fuck
It's
is wrong
funny.
with this dude? He's just in his room. By the way, I think that was Leon Bridges, and I think the reason he kept having to stop it over is he was just grabbing the one part where somebody wasn't singing and singing over it.
Yeah, I know. Or it was what, edited together?
Yeah.
So he played his first 1, 2, 3. He played his first 4 seasons with the Patriots. Man, CTE is real,
Yeah. Jesus.
and we don't give a shit. Like that's the bottom line. The NFL playoffs are this weekend. We're all gonna watch. We're like, look at this guy. Yeah. Which speaking of, and I'm not saying these guys have CTE, but you'll love this. My buddy, he has season tickets for University of Cincinnati basketball, and he's got really good seats. And you go once or twice a year. He's got like third row. He calls me last minute the other day. He's like, "Hey, you want to go?" I said, "No, I got some shit going on. I can't tonight." He calls me back yesterday. He's like, "Man, you should have gone." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, sitting directly in front of me, the 2 seats in front of me, the whole game were Edgerrin James and Ed Reed,
Wow.
because Edgerrin James' son is a freshman.
Right.
Jizzle, literally, that's what he goes by, Jizzle James. He's like, dude, right in front of me the whole game." And then my buddy's like, he goes, "Man, those guys are basically our age. They're both 45." He goes, "God, they look so old." And I go, "Have you watched NFL?" Like,
Yeah.
CTE, you have one of the best safeties of all time, one of the all-time running backs, 2 Hall of Famers. They took a lot of hits, man.
Yeah. You know what makes you old? Not sleeping. You know what makes it hard to sleep? That absolute sledgehammer pounding in your head every goddamn day, and the voices telling you to kill your whole family.
I shouldn't laugh, but I know.
I listen, I've talked about this at length, and the solution to me is very simple. The NFL will never do it because it'll cost them pennies of their fucking money, but just a hospital in Canton, Ohio, essentially an NFL PA VA. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. You know how many doctors, how many sports fans, doctors would sign up to be,
Yeah, people would donate.
at one of the leading centers of brain studies and all. Just, it doesn't have to be doesn't have to be Cedar Sinai. Just something that focuses on like, orthopedic fucking injuries, brain injuries, all the shit that these NFL guys, arthritis, all these things that these guys have to deal with in their post-playing career.
What's crazy though is, why does somebody get CTE and somebody doesn't?
Concussions repeatedly to the same location. A lot of times I learned this. I had a ex whose brother was a big time college tight end, and he had a lot of concussions, and the doctors told him the real scare is that they kept occurring to the same area of his brain, that he could have had that many concussions. So these guys who, these receivers who take these shots, and these linebackers, or these safeties, or these guys these running backs who are taking the same kind of hit all the time, you're just putting repeated injury on certain part of your brain.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. So we have another genre that his song could have been. CTR&B. I like that.
I thought for sure he was going to rap, and then we could have just called him CT Easy. But
straight out of Trauma.
Yeah. Straight out of, wait, Where am I?
I'm pretty excited to see where he goes, though.
Belichick.
I couldn't tell you the last time I'm this excited to see where a coach goes.
Well, what's crazy, what makes it so crazy is this coaching carousel that we have now. Our guys, where's Carroll going to go? Where's Vrabel going to go?
Do you think Carroll coaches?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like there was a conversation that he wanted to keep coaching there, and that maybe they've convinced him to take some sort of other role in the organization. But if he wanted to keep coaching, he probably can make a lot of money coaching, a lot more money than whatever position they're offering him, right? And then it gets into the question, like we talked about, it's like, does Pete Carroll just go to Alabama? Like he's got a fucking college resume. I mean, I don't know. Is Harbaugh going to the NFL? Is Vrabel? Who's hiring Vrabel? Are the Pats just are we sure that the Pats just immediately go Vrabel? And then also, if you immediately go Vrabel, why aren't we going? Why did we get rid of Bill Belichick? Like, what is that? Now you're just doing, sort of Bill Belichick's successor is Bill Belichick's like protege, kind of. I know he didn't coach in New England, but the Vrabel firing also just shocking. I mean, to literally everybody but fucking our crazy Titans caller,
Alex from Kentucky.
Alex from Kentucky, seemingly the only guy who wanted Vrabel fired, and then they fire Vrabel. To me, that is, and I tweeted it. He won 54 games in 6 seasons. I wish I could bet my life savings on them not winning 54 games over the next 6 seasons. Vrabel was there the whole time. You talk about Belichick. Why would he go someplace without a quarterback? They never gave Vrabel a quarterback. Never gave him a quarterback. He just had a cast off from the Dolphins who played receiver in college. They're like, good luck. If you don't win us a Super Bowl, you're fired. To me, it's almost the most ridiculous firing.
Who's making those decisions? Is Vrabel in on that, though, on the quarterback situation? I don't know.
Is he in on it in terms of what? They didn't like what
he's not the GM.
Right. That's my point. So you didn't give him an elite quarterback.
How much say does he have? Is what I'm asking.
He has a say in who plays quarterback on his roster, right? I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there who he would have happily had over any of the guys on his roster, but yeah, he's not the GM. He's not Bill Belichick, right? But also, there's only so many guys who are out there. But my point is, pretty successful, given the lack of TV.
That, you can see guys who players like to play for. What's crazy is this last week is the epitome of a Vrabel game. They have nothing to play for. The other team has everything to play for. And Vrabel gets the guys to go out there and kick the shit out of them. Right? So that's what I find funny is that he's fired. Not a good season, of course. The last 2 seasons haven't been good. But you say, this last Sunday is why I like Vrabel. That's why I like him. They didn't just lie down. He's like, we're going to go out there and we're going to play. It's a division foe. We're going to keep this team out of the playoffs and from winning the division. Of course, Alex from Kentucky called, though. I mean, this guy. He's unbelievable.
Hey, Andy, Joe, it's Alex from Kentucky and OJ Dirtball. And as a Tennessee Titans fan, I am happy Mike Vrabel's gone. I'm going to sing a song. Ding dong, Mike Vrabel's gone. The jackass is gone. The jackass is gone. He will not be screwing up our offense anymore. And he will not be ruining our quarterbacks. Because, all right, I'm done singing. He ruined, let's see, Marcus Mariota. Wasn't great, but, he still ruined his development. Ryan Tannehill wasn't good. He still ruined that, but he was loyal to him, refusing to replace the quarterback positions. Malik Willis sucked, but he did not develop them. He hired incompetent assistant coaches like Todd Downing and Matt LaFleur as coordinators and Shane Bowen. I'm so glad Vrabel's gone. Tighten up, baby.
Okay. I'm just,
I mean, like I wish what teams could do is that they could leak things like they happen. I wish there was like a 24-hour time machine button where the Titans could fire Mike Vrabel and see the people who celebrate it and then be able to hit the 24. If Alex from Kentucky likes your moves, you've made the wrong move.
You're right.
Like he ruined the development of Marcus Mariota. So did what? 8 other teams in football? Like where's Marcus Mariota? Malik Willis, they drafted because Tannehill wasn't getting it done. Malik Willis came in. I was like, oh, this is it. Like anybody better than just like the mediocrity that is Ryan Tannehill. He was awful. He was awful, dude. Then they have to draft another quarterback. That guy came in. Will Levis came in, threw 4 touchdowns in his first start and got banged up throughout the year, but was like pretty decent for a rookie in a half a season on and off playing games. Like looked okay. This is who are you bringing in that's developing the Will Levis with no Derrick Henry with one aging wideout? Like what's your plan here?
I mean, that's my point. What's your plan? Especially the best friend for a young quarterback or any quarterback is a defense.
Also, the best friend for a young quarterback is consistency
and a running game.
How many fucking quarterbacks have we seen that really never got a fair shot because of the carousel of offensive coordinators, of head coaches, of whatever?
Yeah, I know. Well, someone's going to pick him up because that was a shocker. It's a stupid decision. Especially in a light.
Again, I wish I could bet my whole existence on the Titans not winning 54 games in the next 6 years.
Dude, they made an AFC championship game.
Yeah.
Then they got the number 1 seed. Now they lost to the Bengals. But like that's a prime example, that game. But like you put that Titans game on Vrabel. How do you do it? Tannehill throws 4 interceptions. The defense sets a playoff record for most sacks against a quarterback against Burrow. Like, what do you want them to do?
And those are those situations that we've talked about. It's like you can talk about the quarterback situation and drafting this guy, drafting that, but they were right there and they were an elite quarterback away, and those guys were floating around. You know what I mean? Like, I know Aaron Rodgers came out of the darkness, and the only thing he saw in the darkness somehow was the New York Jets. Like, and like, not to get, but like, and all the things that come with that, like the ownership, so weird. Like, where were the Titans being like, don't do that? Hey, before you do that, you shouldn't. We have a defense. We have a running game. Pfizer doesn't own us. Like, come on down to Tennessee. Because there's a couple of guys over the last few years that have been available, and they never did it. And they drafted two quarterbacks, and that's fine. But like, just to me, it feels like the Titans did nothing but overachieve with Vrabel.
I agree. In an AFC that's been very, very good and competitive. Again, they trounce, and I mean trounce, the Ravens that year. They make the AFC title game. Ravens, I believe, were the number 1 seed. They make it to the AFC title game. Again, then they get the number 1 seed. I don't know what you want. You're not going to go far without a quality quarterback. And Ryan Tannehill for sure had his moments. But I think that Bengals game in the playoffs in 2021 season, 2022 playoffs, it proved this is who he was. Right? All you got to do is don't turn the ball over, man. Your defense is playing great. He throws 4 interceptions. That's some Carson Palmer shit right there.
By the way, can we just talk about how like some of Andy Ruther's favorites are just getting like you love Belichick, you love Saban, you love Carroll. You've always kind of been a Vrabel guy. And meanwhile, you're just stuck with Zach Taylor. Like all your faves.
Well, that's a Bengals fan problem. I mean, we all know my viewpoint on all that. I think you know what? I'm going to make this prediction because I talked to Justin. I think it's not good for the Bengals for a few years. I think Joe Burrow is great, but I think I'll go on a limb and say this. I don't think they make the playoffs even if they had Burrow this year. How competitive the AFC was and how many holes they had on both sides of the ball.
And I was thinking about it after our last, episode.
Joe, they were 5-4 when he got hurt.
The Bengals fan thing of if we were in a different division, if you were in a division where all of the starting quarterbacks got hurt, because you're in a division currently where almost all of the starting quarterbacks got hurt.
Yeah. No, but that's my point, right? The argument of like, if we had guys, the Bengals were 5-4 when he got injured in the Baltimore game. They lose that and they go 5-5.
But also if you have Burrow in this world where you have Burrow, do the Browns still have Watson or the two other guys who started after Watson before they had to pick up Joe Flacco? In this world, is it still are the Steelers still have games where they have Trubisky playing for them, where they had to have fucking whack-a-mole playing? Like you act like the two teams that made the playoffs in front of you in your division, besides the Ravens, did it not with their back. You had your backup quarterback. They did it with their third string, their fourth string. They're not on the roster string.
The spin from the delusional Bengals fans now is, oh yeah, wait until we get this last place division schedule next year. This last place division schedule. We had a first place division schedule this year. The way that sports fans will try to spin into something like that
your last place division schedule doesn't have any effect on you not beating any of the teams in your own division who you have to play every year anyway.
I mean, right? That's exactly my point.
This isn't to dunk on Justin or to dunk on Bengals fans. This is to me, this is everything that we're talking about with all of these teams. You have Zach Taylor, which whatever, but like Vrabel, Carroll, Belichick, like how much consistency do you need from who's next? Tomlin? Who's next? McVay if he loses a playoff game? If the Niners don't win the Super Bowl, are they moving? Like, what is happening in coaching? Now, obviously, Saban retired. That's a decision. You know what I mean? The rest of these guys doesn't feel like it was their decision.
Yeah, I want to pull up Pete Carroll real quick. Again, I know people bring up, he is like the youngest 72-year-old, so I hate bringing up age with him. Now, there are some people, age is different, right? It's per person. He's a young 72-year-old. He was there 14 seasons. We all know he won a Super Bowl, made back-to-back Super Bowls, a winning record 11 of the 14 seasons. 10 playoff wins since 2010, tied for the third most. Now, I know he hasn't won a playoff game recently. But like you said, I don't know what these people want.
But also in a division where the Niners are up, right? You had the Niners up. You had the Rams up, right? This division, all those teams that were randomly up, they were there the whole time. They were consistent the whole time. And what's weird is it seemed like the whole Russell Wilson debacle and him sort of figuring it out eventually, 4 or 5 years after maybe he should have, but like him figuring it out, we should get some draft picks for this. we should fix our cap situation. We should stop overpaying a quarterback who's not a whole lot better than if we brought Geno Smith in here to play for way fucking less. Like, it seemed like that was an opportunity for him to figure out how to rebuild with the blueprint that he won in the first place. It doesn't really feel like they gave him long enough to do that once that decision. Like, obviously, ownership had to okay that decision. How long did they think acquiring a bunch of first-round picks and going at it with a journeyman veteran QB, how long did they think how quick did they think that turnaround would take? Seems like they thought it would go way too quick.
I did see a stat, though. The defense consistently got worse over the last 10 years.
Well, duh.
But my thing on a guy like Carroll, like we've said, he won 2 titles at USC. Yes, 2. I'm not doing this vacated bullshit. He makes it to 2 Super Bowls, wins 1. And we talked about it last episode. You guys can debate all you want. Greatest college football coach. I don't really think there's a debate. I think it's obviously Nick Saban.
Again, Nick Saban has the best resume, the same way that Coach K has the best resume.
Yeah, exactly, for college. But if you want to talk football coach, Pete Carroll did it both at the collegiate level and the professional level. Nick Saban didn't. Nick Saban lasted 2 seasons in my
And also, I mean, you look at it. This is why I said what I said last week, or last episode. Essentially, he's the best college football coach that couldn't make it in the NFL. Not only did he, you have a Coach K who never went to the NBA. You have a Nick Saban who went to the NFL, washed out, went back. And he did it. But Harbaugh, he put Stanford back on the map. Stanford was dog shit for a lot of years after Elway. Put him on the map, got himself a fucking job in the Bay Area based on that. Went to a Super Bowl. Was a legitimate head coach in the NFL. Everybody was like, he's a great coach. Went back to Michigan. I know everybody was like, fucking Ohio State. Like, been there for a few years now. Just won a title. Beat Nick Saban. And Nick Saban's got how many years of all of the recruiting and all of things, like constantly. Harbaugh goes to Michigan, takes a minute, but like gets them there. And now, I mean, seemingly maybe goes back to the NFL. Could certainly go back to the NFL if he wanted to. It doesn't feel like Nick Saban necessarily is in a situation where he's just like, oh, I could go wherever I want. Like, we saw this with Urban Meyer. Similar thing. You're a great college football coach. You get up there with the big boys. How did it fucking go? Jimmy Johnson, it went great. Harbaugh, it went great. Like, we've seen guys transition up to there.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Now, it took him a second go around in the NFL, but he obviously made it work. Also, the people like I know Carroll's not everybody's cup of tea, as Marshawn Lynch noted on Club Shay Shay, but for the most part, I think guys really like him. I think his former players really like him. And I know not everybody's a rah-rah guy. They don't want to deal with a rah-rah coach, but I think he has his players back. It's like, who did I see? Which former player of his? God, who was it? I forget. But anyway, it was a former Seahawks player. Oh, it was Jimmy Graham. He tweeted like when he had a serious injury. And he's like, who's waiting at the hospital when he gets out of surgery? Because it's Carroll and his wife.
Yeah.
Just waiting for me.
Now, Jimmy Graham also just tweeted that Jameis Winston's the best teammate ever. So he should probably have a private room at the hospital in Canton.
Yeah, you're right. I love the Jameis defenders, by the way. So many Jameis defenders.
So stupid. What the fuck are we talking about here? They were in victory. Shut the fuck up.
We discussing Harbaugh, we have an interesting call.
Okay.
And I gave you a little preface on before the show.
Joe, Andy, it's Nick from Iowa. You guys will like this one. Hey, who has had a bigger impact on the game of football between the royal families of football, the Mannings and the Harbaughs? Who's had a bigger impact? Say, Dirty Boys.
Okay, so you have obviously Archie Manning.
Yeah, I was gonna say like just when you consider the Archie factor, like
So you have
I mean,
Archie and his two sons. Now, obviously Jim Harbaugh was, not the best, but he was a successful quarterback in the NFL.
yeah.
So the coaching, you just laid it out. Jim Harbaugh's been very successful.
I mean, and we're like you're basically judging. So we're basically judging coaching for the Harbaughs, and we're judging essentially playing. But if you get a little bit deeper into that, like the Mannings are now the alt broadcast on Monday Night Football. They're
4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, 4 Super Bowls to the Harbaughs.
1.
Yeah. You get a bonus in Archie. You get a bonus in Arch still to come. I mean, to me, it's the Mannings without a doubt.
I think it's the Mannings too.
And also, what is the question was, I like to answer these things for what they asked too. This is like most valuable player, the most influential. Like, have the Harbaughs really like influenced? Like it doesn't feel like they're Bill Belichick in changing. Like there's a couple of fantastic moves in there. The Kaepernick over Alex Smith, the Lamar Jackson thing, like, I guess changing the game a little. Obviously, you now have a championship in college to add to the mix. So you got 2 championships from them if you add that. But like, yeah, to me, it's the Mannings, no doubt about it.
Well, it's the Mannings. And again, to go to the question, the Mannings have impacted the game in so many far more ways at the end of the day, because players are going to have a greater impact than coaches, and that's just the way it is. And like you said, you have the Manning cast, you have kids wanting to play the game of football because of the Mannings. You have the commercials, you have SNL. I mean, these are all pop culture things.
I don't think a lot of people are going onto the fucking their backyard football field and being like, give me some Costco khakis. But I think numerous kids over the years have been like, Omaha.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the Mannings. And we're now at least 3 generations, and Harbaughs are 2 brothers in one. I mean, it's the Mannings.
Yeah, without a doubt. I totally agree. It's definitely the Mannings.
Andy, let's play a little. I'm not a college football guy. You're barely a college football guy at this point. So let's leave Alabama out of it. Do you want to play musical chairs with the job, or do you want to play musical chairs with the person? Saban is retired, right? Saban's done.
Yeah, Saban's done. I don't really know. I don't follow college enough. I see the headlines. I see the tweets. They're going to go after Oregon's head coach. Again, I can't even tell you his name. But I can tell you why I think Nick Saban left. I think we've entered the Wild West stage. It went from too strict, too stringent with all these stupid NCAA rules to now it's guys, college sports is pandemonium. It is. It's pandemonium with the NIL, with the transfer portal. These guys are like 24, 25 years old. It's a problem. And it makes you not want to watch, especially if you're a fan of a team. Because you go, who are these guys? Like if you're a fan of a college basketball team on the transfer portal, you just go, I don't even know who I'm watching.
Right.
Even in the past, if it was one and done, Kentucky, you knew, oh, this guy's
That's
a top
what I
recruit.
like about college. In the NFL, these divas, they want their money and they go to whatever team they want. College, you go there, you're there for 4 years. Dude, that hasn't happened in fucking 25 years. No one stayed 4 years for anything. Now it's transfer portal. Now it's NIL deals. It's
realignment.
We don't even need to fucking. We don't need it. We've buried college and
my
pissed
point is
and shit on the grave. And
yeah, no, I agree. But the only reason I'm saying this is my point is, I think that's why Nick Saban, he's a smart guy. He's like, dude, I'm in my 70s. I don't want to be dealing with all this shit.
So Saban is gone. You think Saban rides off into the sunset?
I do.
Does Carroll stay as a member of the Seattle Seahawks organization?
I think he does. Because I think he's a loyal guy.
Does Bill Belichick coach in the NFL next season, and if so, where?
I'm gonna rule out the Panthers.
Okay.
I'm gonna rule out the Commanders.
Do you think there's potential of Bill Belichick ending up in a job that has not yet been vacated?
I do. I would lean towards the Chargers or Falcons. I don't know anything about the Falcons. I just keep hearing things.
I'll tell you what, as a Giants fan, if Brian Daboll wants to go coach Alabama, I'm happy to have him go. We'll take Belichick with Pete Carroll's defensive coordinator. Let's just run this back like an old-timey fucking let's go. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome out in Rutherford, that's for sure.
Imagine that job, by the way. Who would want that Bama job? Who would want that? Dude, he just won 6 titles there. 6 titles. I mean,
where's is Vrabel in New England?
That seems like the logical answer, which makes me think that won't happen. I mean, look, they got a situation there. They don't have a quarterback.
But they have an opportunity to draft one.
They do. I mean, it just shows how good they had it for all those years. It really does. So I mean, it's amazing.
Tom Brady returns to coach the Pats.
I don't think Brady would ever get into coaching. He's just not that type of guy. Plus, he's going to be in the booth, right? When does he go to Fox? This year?
I don't know.
2024? I think that was it. He goes into the booth now. It's so crazy, though. It's crazy to think that Bill Belichick is basically a free agent.
I know. It's crazy. It's also crazy when you look around the league. The hardest part for me is, the moving on from a Vrabel, the moving on from a Carroll, the moving on from a Belichick. When look at the guys who get hired and what you're just out there. You're just, Doug Peterson should still have a job. Yeah. Matt Eberflus should still have a job. This guy should have a job. That guy should have a job. You're good. You're good with that. Robert Saleh, I think, is a pretty good coach, but just refuses to do anything about his quarterback situation. The whole fucking world knew that the Jets were done if they had to go to Zach Wilson. The whole fucking world knew. I'll tell you who definitely knew. Aaron Rodgers definitely knew. That's why Aaron Rodgers said, if we're competitive, I'm coming back. Yeah, cool. Also, if the Jets are competitive in mid-December, I'm coming back. I'll be your starting wide receiver. I'll cut off my cock and play. Like, we can say whatever we want. We knew it wasn't fucking happening. you're just going to refuse to deal with your quarterback situation, you get to keep your job. It's unbelievable with the resume that some of these guys have put out that they would be forced out. It's like, I don't really want to hear this, like, the game has passed them by fucking bullshit. Especially for a guy like again, Vrabel, to me, kind of the most shot. Like, what the fuck were you guys doing?
Yeah, again, I think it's because they got so close. I'm not saying I agree. I think this is how they're thinking it through. We got so close. We were right there. We didn't, and now we regressed. We need to change up. Good luck.
Yeah.
Smart organizations don't do the quick firing, right? Good organizations hold on to somebody.
And I get that the AFC South generally stinks. And I get that you finished behind Houston Texans, who were dog shit last year, but they went out and they got their quarterback. That you finished behind a Jaguars team that's on and off pretty terrible. They went out and got their quarterback. Also, the Colts went out and got their quarterback. Every team in your division picked a quarterback in the top how many picks of the fucking draft?
Yeah. No, I know.
And you're like,
I know, man.
This guy was a receiver and he played on the Dolphins. This guy, blah, blah, blah. Like, Marcus Mariota didn't work out, but also that was the beginning of Vrabel.
Still got a road playoff game against the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Let's not forget that. Mariota won a road playoff game in arguably the toughest place to play, Arrowhead. So that one, the more you think about it, is kind of the wildest one, in my opinion. The Belichick thing, it's kind of like, relationship at so many years. It's like maybe we'll just go part ways. And you could argue the same thing for the Carroll situation. The Vrabel one really is just a head scratcher.
I could say the same thing about the Carroll situation, though. Like, is there, the Seahawks were a damn near a playoff team this year. They were a playoff team last year, right?
Yeah.
If I said that you had to bet your life savings right now, you had to bet Isla's college fund right now on will the Seahawks be a 500 team next year, what would you bet?
Without Carroll?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
I'd bet it all.
Yeah.
I'd bet it all. Because there's also, again,
now, unless Vrabel ends up there or Belichick ends up there or Harbaugh ends up there or whatever, but if they just go this coach X,
not some
this
offensive
coordinator,
and also within that locker room, like I said, about guys who players want to play for. If you're going to a coach who has a Super Bowl on his resume, who has all these playoff wins on his resume, they're going to respect you. Guys respect Carroll. They're not doing fake kneel down victory formations. That shit's not going to fly under him, under a Tomlin, under a Belichick. They're just not going to do that. But I have a suggestion for all these guys, Joe. Although I don't know if they need it because these guys seem to have everything together.
I feel like I know what you're going to say, and I feel like this maybe this is a suggestion for ownership. Maybe these ownerships, before they make these rash decisions,
drink some Magic Mind.
Drink some Magic Mind. Get up in the morning. If you're the owner of the Titans, don't make these decisions on an empty stomach. Don't make these decisions on an empty mind. Don't make these decisions on if you're the Seattle ownership, you went out there and you got a shitty cup of burnt Starbucks, and then you decided to fire a Hall of Fame coach. Get some Magic Mind.
And you know what? Carroll seems like he's on it because he's full of energy. He's full of life. And that's what Magic Mind will do. It's going to get you focused, which Carroll has, energy, Carroll has, less stress, does not seem like a stressful guy, and the vitamins give you immunity. All these great things in this tiny little bottle. And like Joe does, you can add this to your coffee in the morning.
Well, I don't add it to my coffee, but I drink it along with I drink it
Okay.
and I have coffee. I
I
don't
gotcha.
put them together, just FYI.
Okay.
I haven't tried it. I don't know how that would taste. But I have coffee because I like the regimen of coffee. And I take the Magic Mind because coffee, as anybody who's a big coffee drinker knows, you go up and you go down. And the Magic Mind, it's a way more level of a boost.
It's like they say, right in the bottle. It's a productivity shot, right? Boost energy and focus, crush procrastination. I know a lot of us need that. Elevate mental clarity. So you NFL owners who have zero mental clarity, drink some Magic Mind before you fire some of these great coaches. And if you're a dirtball, if you're a listener, we have a great deal right now. And it's only in January. So take note of this. Only this January, we're going to help you crush your 2024 New Year's resolution. We're going to get you fully focused. You get 1 month for free.
Oh, man.
When you subscribe for 3 months. So you get a whole month free when you subscribe for 3 months.
That's a good deal.
Great deal. At www.magicmind.com/Jan Dirty Sports. So that's /JAN Dirty Sports. And use our code Dirty Sports. So it's an extra 20% off, which ends up getting you 70% off. Not a math guy, but I know 75% off is good. So this will only last until the end of January. So hurry up before it goes away. So you have 20 more days. All right. So this promotion will only last through the end of January.
Guys, hop on it. I got to say, I'll add one more, personal plug for the Magic Mind. I've become a bit of a coffee snob in my older years. I used to drink that aforementioned Starbucks in a pinch, back against the wall. I talked myself into McDonald's coffee is pretty good, and it's pretty good. But I've become a coffee snob, and I make myself a fine cup of coffee at home. And now, if I don't have the opportunity to do that, if I don't have a chance to make myself a good cup of coffee or go, I just throw a Magic Mind. I'll just bring it with me in the car. And it's just like in addition to my good cup of coffee, but also sometimes in place of. And not only that, for you surfers out there who know that a cup of coffee is a dangerous game in the morning, Magic Mind. Magic Mind's now my go-to pre-surf. Pick me up.
Yeah. So the link for all that will be in the description of the podcast. So go ahead, click on that and get yourself some free Magic Mind, some discounted Magic Mind. One last thing on the coaches. I know this is overused, but it's truly an end of an era with like 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is obviously Belichick and Saban are connected. They used to coach together. So it's like, you have a whole era.
Belichick and Carroll coached together, didn't they?
They did. I think you're right.
Yeah. He was with him in the first go around in New England. Or was he his first go around? Or was he with him at the Jets?
Were they together in Cleveland at all?
I don't know.
I don't know. Regardless, it is an end of an era. And I'm not going to play a call. He left. They're kind of long, a couple calls. But here's one last coaching thing. Our boy Jose from Miami. He wanted to make the analogy, and I'll just say it. We don't have to play the call. He compares Mike McDaniel to Kendall Roy from Succession.
Wow.
And he also makes a good point. Mike McDaniel's sober. I don't know if you guys knew he had battled alcoholism. So he's been sober for a while. He's been open about it. Kendall Roy, both of them have flashes of good stuff. Both of them have flashes of like, what are you doing?
It's an interesting
I can see it.
Yeah. Both of them think they're super cool. and then do like embarrassing shit. It's like, hey, we're rapping.
That's what I'm
Guys,
saying.
I'm gonna rap my morning speech. Everybody's like, this is fucking.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I can totally see it. So I want to play this clip to pivot for a minute of the Raptors coach going off.
The Raptors coach. Okay, I haven't seen.
Did you
this.
see this?
No.
You didn't see this?
No.
This was after the Lakers Raptors game the other night.
Okay.
And the discrepancy on free throws in the fourth quarter was Lakers shot 23, and the Raptors shot 2. And the Raptors coach, Darko, can't pronounce your last name, was not happy. How do you pronounce his last name? Did you know the Raptors coach?
No. Milicic?
That's what I thought. Oh. No. Rajaković? It's from Serbia. Not going to work here anymore. That's all I know. This is what he said after the game. And to me, it's funny because it's in broken English. And yeah, I'm very immature for thinking it's funny, but I do.
Happened tonight. This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this. 23 free throws for them, and we get 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Like, how to play the game. I understand respect for all stars and all that, but we have star players on our team as well. How's possible that Scotty Barnes, who is all-star caliber player in this league, he goes every single time to the rim with force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for the whole game. How's that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? They had to win tonight? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been calling it back, it's a complete crap.
Tell me that's not hilarious.
Well, I think the most hilarious part was Scotty Barnes is going to be the face of the league.
That too.
That's an interesting claim. I mean, Scotty Barnes is a good player. It's a bold claim, though. He's going to be the face of the league. He's going to be face of the league. This crap.
Who knew that the Raptors had Borat as their head coach? It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, that was just hilarious to me.
They need win. Tell us before game. We not show up. You don't think here in Toronto, beautiful city, one day be the gem of North America? Will one day be bigger than New York? Bigger than Los Angeles? Shit on Chicago? We are on the verge of Toronto taking over, becoming biggest thing. You have Drake. You have also Drake. I don't know. You have lots of things here. It's about to be crown jewel of North America. You don't think we have other things we can do tonight? I will take Scotty Barnes to Tim Hortons for some Timbits if we are not going to have a chance to play this game. So much we could do here. There's hockey team. I'd take players to game. Scotty Barnes star. Scotty Barnes have a beautiful winter coat collection. He happy to come to the hockey game. Now, obviously, the game being played here, so the hockey team must be on the road. But I mean, I'd take a road trip with my team if we're not going to have a chance to win. This is ridiculous.
Anything else, Coach?
I know they have All-Star. I know they have LeBron James. They have Anthony Davis. They have Austin Reeves. Okay? But let me tell you somebody new to this league. only know what I've seen since I've been here. LeBron James, this goat James, he can't smell Scotty Barnes' jockstrap.
Dude, that was amazing. I love how nobody knew that was their head coach.
No, I didn't. You could have asked me before. I'd have been like, I don't fucking know. I know who their last coach was.
That's what I'm saying.
Put himself on the map.
Got me talking a little NBA. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
I
this
saw
is
that.
what it takes. This is what it takes for Ruther to get fucking. He's like, let's play a clip from the NBA. I'm like, great. Is that LeBron dunk in traffic? Oh no, it's an Eastern European guy having a meltdown.
Didn't get enough attention, in my opinion.
I didn't hear about it.
Exactly. It's like Borat just going off after watching his team lose.
Where does Andy Ruther come across this kind of stuff? Did you see that on Twitter? Did you see that on SportsCenter?
Twitter. I was just laughing. And then and then I saw his name Darko, and I was like, that's not Darko. That's not the Darko Milicic, right? And then of course I'm Wikipedia and Googling. Now, obviously, I didn't watch the game. 23-2 free throws is a huge discrepancy.
Sure.
And he's obviously feeding this shit is fixed.
Well,
conspiracy.
if the NBA is fixing for the Lakers to win games, they're doing a fucking horrible job of it.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's not really working right now. Like, and this is kind of, I don't know. You keep saying it's the end, but you're like, well, I mean, how much more does LeBron have? And he's obviously having a good year.
Yeah, the Lakers are interesting. It certainly doesn't feel like a title team, but it does feel like a team that when you have LeBron healthy, Anthony Davis healthy, Austin Reeves playing well, you've got movable pieces. Do the Lakers take a swing? It doesn't feel like there's a guy out there that's going to be available that really pushes them over the top. But at the same time, it does feel like that is going to be something that happens. It does feel like they're going to have to take a swing if they want. When you have Anthony Davis playing healthy and playing well, him and LeBron, I mean, like we saw it in the bubble. It is a tough combo to beat when both those guys are healthy and playing well. And I do think the thing with this Lakers team, to give credit to LeBron James, which I always do, is like, I don't think LeBron James looks at it from let's win games from night to night. LeBron James knows that he has to find a way to win in a way that the team, his goal is a championship, So he's trying to play a way where, hey, if we can play this way and we can play this way consistently every night, this gives us a chance to win the championship. I don't know that they have the pieces for it right now, but I think they're bottom. They're close to the bottom of the league in 3-point shooting. They're close to the bottom of the field, and I think even 3-point attempts, 3-point makes, 3-point whatever, not just percentage wise. They just don't shoot threes like a really good, successful NBA team would these days. So where is that the guy that they go out and get, or they go out and they get a guy who can shoot the three? We'll see, but they're certainly not a championship caliber team right now. Not with the other teams that are in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, bottom half in 3-point percentage. Bottom 10. Hey, they should go out and get Scotty Barnes, man.
Yeah.
Put him over the top.
I'm not honestly the thing about this Andy Ruther, he's making jokes. Let me ask you something. How are the Lakers getting Scotty Barnes from for my team. You think you trade me LeBron James? I give you Scotty Barnes? Fuck you. Or you offer me Anthony Davis straight up for Scotty Barnes? Suck my dick. I would rather have fucking the city of Austin move here to Canada, be placed right next to Toronto. Toronto literally become biggest city in North America than have Austin Reeves on my team for Scotty Barnes. I don't know. There's player in their prime with a statue outside Lakers arena who I take over Scotty Barnes. Oh, you're gonna give me prime Shaquille O'Neal? Have you fucking watched Scotty Barnes?
And this is why I pulled that clip, if you want to know. I was like, Brano's going to do an Eastern European impersonation, and we're going to fuck around with it. That's exactly why I pulled it. Been doing this for 10 years, man. Oh, we want to actually talk some good NBA? Nah. let's just riff on an Eastern European dude. Much more fun.
There's nothing you give me in the world over Scott. You give me all the books in the world. You give me Barnes and Noble, I still say no. I just take a Barnes. You make me head of Amazon.com. I don't give a fuck. Me and Scotty Barnes changing the world. Scotty Barnes. What a fucking dude. If you're Scotty Barnes today, you're like, whoa, coach. Fucking chill, dog.
Yeah, I appreciate the praise, coach, but tap the brakes a little. You want to make some NFL picks?
Yeah,
a little
let's do
preview, a little NFL playoff preview. I'm gonna play a call first.
Okay.
Before we do that, we have a bet prediction or a bet tip. I don't know what you want to call it.
A bet suggestion.
We have 3 guarantees from this dirt ball.
Okay.
So yeah, listen to this.
Joe and Andy, this is Cincinnati Dirt Ball. Just calling in to give you some tidbits on the NFL sports betting. I guess this is more for Joe. We got Steelers plus 10 going into Buffalo. Everybody thinks Buffalo's tough terrain, harsh weather. Well, the Steelers are meant for that. They're built that way. Take the plus 10. Next up, Chiefs versus the Dolphins. Does Tua even won a game in cold weather? I think it's supposed to be cold in Kansas City at home. Take the Chiefs. Don't even think about it. Third, we got Cleveland Browns versus Houston Texans. They just played December 24th, and the Browns took care of business. I know they played Davis Mills, but what I'm getting at is the over. Take the over of 44.5. Last time they played, I think they scored 58 total points. Anyways, those are the 3 picks of the week. Do with it as you will. Condoms are for Jake Browning because the whole city wants to impregnate your girlfriend, bro, and do butt stuff with her. Peace.
I mean, listen, I like I haven't delved into the over-under on all the games yet, but I'll tell you what, Texans Browns seems like an obvious under, and that's why I'll bet the over with you. Let's go. I'll ride the over. I think the Chiefs absolutely win the game versus the Dolphins. I think that we've got, I think unfortunately for Andy, I think you're going to hear a lot from the Chiefs in the next couple weeks. No one believed in us. They fucking dead. The Swift curse, all this shit.
I think the Chiefs win too.
No, I know. But I think that you said you'd be rooting against them. And you said, and then obviously a matchup would potentially be against the Bills team. I got to say, I don't love his Bills. I don't love his Steelers minus 10. Steelers plus 10 against the Bills. I don't love that one.
Really? Okay. I do.
That was more of a stay away from me. Okay. I'm in terms of betting, that was more of a stay away game for me. But
well, let's just hop into them. So
hold on. So I have a suggestion, by the way. just to make it interesting. Are we going to take this bet through the end of the Super Bowl?
Sure.
I have a suggestion. Totally up to you. What if, we basically get a game, every week we pick a game. This is going to whittle down and, potentially it could be over before. What if this week's picks are worth 1, next 2, championship round 3, and Super Bowl 4?
Okay, let's do it.
Kind of keeps it interesting. If somebody's 4 points, 3 points back, still have a Super Bowl.
Let's do it.
All right.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough to have different picks though, because I think we're going to agree on a lot of this stuff. Now,
well, I'll give you one. I know you're all right. Go ahead. I'll let you do that. I'll let you do what you do.
I was going to say we can go in order, which
Sure.
would be Browns Texans. Saturday 4:30. Browns are 2-point favorite on the road. I am leaning towards, and I'll just make it my official pick, the Browns win and cover. I wouldn't be shocked if the Texans won, but you got a rookie quarterback.
Agreed.
And you got a veteran quarterback.
I feel these. I mean, when you look at Stroud looked fan-fucking-tastic last week, and I was very, very impressed.
He looked great all year, man. He had a great year.
But that was essentially a playoff game.
Correct.
And he looked great, and he delivered. Now, I think the Colts are not a good football team, and I know that they were right there to be a playoff team. And if that's your justification for firing Mike Vrabel, like, it's just about the only one that I could hear is like, we fucking shouldn't be finishing behind the Colts. I get it. But also the Colts now live in that horrible mediocrity zone, right? They didn't make the playoffs and they don't get a fucking high draft pick, which we've talked about at length on this show. The Browns are a lot better than the Colts. The Browns defense is a lot better. I think the Flacco Cinderella story lasts at least another week. I think Stroud plays a great game for a rookie in his first playoff game. But yeah, I'm sorry, I don't. I know it's home dog, but I'm going to take the Browns. I think the Browns defense just getting after a rookie.
Yeah, and that's the main thing for me. Plus, Flacco, he's a veteran. He's been in this moment. He's been in the most pressure tense moments as a quarterback. And man, that would set up a great potential game against the Ravens. But not so fast. We got Dolphins Chiefs. It's now 4.5.
Mm-hmm. What did it
my
open
thought?
at?
I think it was around there, maybe 3.5. My thought process is everybody's saying take the Chiefs, which makes me not want to take the Chiefs to cover. I think the Chiefs win. Just like he's saying in the call, it's like, well, this and that, and it's 2 everyone a cold game. I don't know.
Yeah, I absolutely think the Chiefs win. And when it was 3, I think it opened at 3. Could have opened at 3.
I'm taking the Dolphins to cover.
I'm also taking the Dolphins to cover.
I'm surprised.
It just seems like this is a field goal game. It seems like I think the Chiefs win the game. And I'll probably parlay the Chiefs money line with some other money lines. I'll probably parlay the Chiefs money line with maybe a money line dog who's out there. But 4.5 with the way the Chiefs, the Chiefs. It's all right. 4.5. Like I could see the Dolphins getting out and scoring early. I could see the Chiefs coming back and winning this game. I think the Chiefs win the game. But 4.5 is too much. And I think that's been moved weirdly by the public a lot. I think so many people, so much of the public is on the Chiefs that I think that's why the lines moved.
Chiefs are 9-7-1 against the spread this year. So
right there.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it'll be a close game.
Same.
So that game will be on Peacock exclusively. What do we think of this? Is this just NFL's like, okay, we're gonna get people to sign up. Or Peacock will do this deal, and we're just not gonna do their 1 month free or whatever.
I mean, I think every 1 month free is the same scam. They just hope you forget.
Oh yeah, for sure. They hope you forget.
Yeah.
It's a pretty bold move, though, man. A prime time Saturday night game, the defending Super Bowl champions, and you're not putting on a channel everybody has.
Again, they know what they're doing. The
No, they
Swifties got
do.
all download Peacock.
I'm not disagreeing. They definitely know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We already have Peacock in this house. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I know why. All those shitty reality shows.
Okay.
Okay. Steelers, Bills. We kind of already started talking about this one. This will be 1 o'clock on Sunday. Steelers are 10-point underdogs. That's a big spread for me. I think it's too big. Like are the minus a few games, are the Bills blowing people out?
No.
So why is the spread so big? Okay, so the Bills are 7-10 against the spread this year. I think the Steelers cover. I don't think Mason Rudolph's going to light it up, but I think I agree with the call. It's not like the Steelers are. Oh, so it's going to be terrible weather, and I saw the winds are going to be insane. Yeah, it's Steeler football. Have you watched them the last 30 fucking years?
Yeah. The weather is the one thing that makes me scared because just you're not scoring a lot of points in the weather regardless. That being said, I'm taking the Bills. I'm taking the Bills because I think the way this Steelers team has played this year, if you told me you get to choose one of these two things will be out for the game, for a playoff game, your starting quarterback or TJ Watt.
Oh,
I think I'd rather take
Watt.
I think I'd rather take the starting quarterback.
I totally forgot about Watt.
Now, what this comes down to is really just are the Bills going to score enough points in the weather? I think that this will be the game. This will be the game where Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over a bunch. And then everybody will be like, they've sorted it. They're going to the Super Bowl. This is the fucking Cinderella. But they've been playing playoff games. You know, last week was a playoff game for them. They needed the win to be in. And essentially, not fully, but to me, I just don't think that the Steelers have the horses for it. Thanks for your call. I'm going the other way. And I'm also going the other way because you can't have the same fucking picks the whole time.
Yeah. All right, Packers, Cowboys. Nice little spread for the home Cowboys. 7-point favorites. We all know what the Cowboys did at home this season. Undefeated. Play much better at home. What do you think about the spread?
It's right in that right realm. If this was a 4.5-point Cowboys spread, I'd be taking the Cowboys. If this was a 9-point Packers spread, I'd be taking the Packers. Vegas knows exactly what they're doing here. I'd even go so far as to say 6.5 or 7.5 would make my decision a lot easier. It's really tough. I think the Cowboys win this game. A lot of people are on the Packers for some reason.
A lot are.
It's a lot. It's a sexy pick right now, which makes me want to take the Cowboys. It's right there. It seems like this spread is high. especially with the sexy pick being the Packers. I'm going to take the Cowboys, and I hate it.
Oh, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Because this was my thought process all along. At first, I was for sure going to take the Packers. The more I've thought about it this week, I think the Cowboys, you heard it here first, blow them out.
Blow them out.
Blow them out. They win by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Because of all those things. Everyone's on the Packers.
I'm not on the Packers sexy.
But also,
really
this is what I foresee. This is what my crystal ball foresees. Some terrible Jordan Love turnovers that lead to either easy Cowboys points or, a scoop and score, a pick 6 from the Cowboys D. I think the Packers lose by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
And I thought you'd go the other way, so we have a different pick again, but we didn't. Because I already know what's going to happen on the next pick. This is where it gets hard. And one last thing on that. I think the Packers get blown out. Everyone's big on the Cowboys. Oh, my God, look at that D. They got 6 sacks on Jordan Love. Oh, my God, this is the Cowboys' year. And everybody gets turned, for them making the Super Bowl, which I don't think is happening. Now, the next game, Rams-Lions. This point spread has stayed. This line has stayed around the same. The Lions are 3-point faves. 3-point faves at home. We all know what I think the Rams win this game.
I don't know if the Rams win this game, but I do know this. I like their fucking chances. I like their chances. The Lions have now posted a Stafford jersey ban for the game. You can't wear an old Stafford jersey. Now, it didn't come directly from the Lions, but this is the Lions fans. A lot of Lions fans are on the Stafford jersey ban, so much so that Kelly Stafford had to address it. I don't know why.
Didn't. She just wanted to. She just wanted to inject herself in the conversation because she does nothing all day except her husband makes all the money. Like, what are we doing? I've said this. What are we doing here?
I think that this game, the whole conversation around this game is Stafford back to the Lions, right? That's the whole conversation. The reason that I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game, or the reason I'm going to pick the Rams to cover, and the reason I might, again, pair a Rams money line dog to that Browns money line favorite is because it's not about Stafford and the Lions to me. It's about Goff and McVay. If anybody knows how to attack Jared Goff, it's the guy who told him where the fucking sun rises. It's the guy who literally was in his head until they shut the fucking voice off. This is Goff versus God. I'm taking God.
By the way, I just Googled the Stafford ban. Of course. Well, first of all, why would you wear a jersey of a guy who doesn't play for you, who you're competing against? Right? Like, that's lunacy. That'd be lunacy to wear.
I don't know, Andy. Maybe because it's the city of Detroit where they sell fucking homes for $1. Maybe this guy didn't have a chance to go out and pick up his latest fucking St. Brown jersey. Like, God damn it. NFL jerseys are expensive. Can a guy wear a fucking Stafford jersey?
No, not when you're playing against him. He's the enemy. If you're a Lions fan, you don't wear Lions Stafford.
There's also, I think that there's, if I was a Lions fan, and I don't even know what kind of mental illness that would require, but does seem like a nice tip of the cap to your.
It's not. You can love it. Don't wear. You do not wear. It's a tip of the cap when he's not playing. You're playing against him. You're playing against him. You don't wear a Stafford jersey. Get out of here. You don't wear a Stafford jersey.
So you're okay with the ban?
I don't know why they even have to issue a ban. Common sense. We're playing.
Well, they had we told them to stop going to football games, and they're like, no, we like getting blown. We like not seeing our family on Thanksgiving and watching ourselves get butt fucked every year. Like, Lions fans need some direction.
Why are you wearing this? You're playing against him. You can appreciate what he did for you. And I think most Lions fans don't, to be honest, but you can appreciate what he did for you all those years, not on Sunday. He's the enemy. I did have to look up what Kelly Stafford said. It's an Instagram response.
Yeah.
A comment. She's so stupid. She's like next level. It's cringe to read this. Like, again, these women who interject themselves in the conversation, no one cares what you think. Literally,
guys, just so you know, this is why Andy Ruther doesn't allow his girlfriend to speak.
Well, I'm not allowing her to speak on sports stuff because she doesn't know sports. Now, we want to talk drugs and medicine. Yeah, fucking have at it. She went to, 8 years of school for that. Like, cool. I mean, this is Kelly Stafford. I don't know what she's talking about here, but you know what? I'm almost rooting for Detroit just seeing her Instagram comments. This is unbelievable. When I was fully rooting for the Rams, it's.
Is this going to swap your pick?
No, it's not going to swap my pick. And look, the truth is, I have not forgotten Matt Boonstra way back before the season started. We have a $100 bet on the Lions winning a playoff game. And I believe I said midway through the season, I'm going to lose this bet. It was kind of just for fun. But with the bet, I got to root for the Rams, and I'm taking the Rams to win and cover. And Sean McVay, man.
I really think it's just a McVay Goff. Like, if I was a Lions fan, again, I don't know what kind of mental illness that would involve. But if I was a Lions fan, I would be so scared about Goff having to go up against McVay. I would be
everything.
Also, Lions fans, I assume there's a big crossover with Michigan fans. Enjoy your championship. And I would say have somebody go film Rams practices this week if you possibly can.
I will take some joy if the Lions lose. Like the joy in just the team that there's always those teams. Like I used to love it with the Browns for all those years where you're like, I just like watching you guys lose because you're delusional. Although I don't think Browns fans were ever really delusional.
No, not. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are some.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't think they were. They were kind of just like, we suck.
Yeah.
But we root for them.
Yeah.
We're Lions fans.
And don't ever make fun of Ohio. Like, okay, guys.
Lions fans, though, have been a little different. And again, I know I say this all the time. Like, you have to win when you have the opportunities, man. There's nothing given in this league. There's nothing. That's why it's the greatest sport, in my opinion. It's the greatest league. Like, I love the NFL. We all know how much I love the NFL. It's the greatest sport. You can't tell me wrong. Like you can't tell me. You're not going to convince me there's any other better sport. I just love it for that. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. And if you're a Lions fan, you gotta just get that one playoff win. You gotta get it. But if you don't, I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to be laughing hard.
If Matt Stafford's the one that comes and snatches it from you.
That's what I'm saying.
God.
A guy who you and I agree was not appreciated there.
Yeah.
Just a dumpster fire organization. That place is going to be turned, though, man. That place is going to be turned. Sunday Night Football. I can already feel Collinsworth erection from Northern Kentucky right now.
Nah, there's not three guys in the league that can make that interception that Jared Goff just threw right there. He had a guy wide open, he threw it right to a linebacker. Nah, there's not three guys in the league who can make that decision. We spent a little time with Dan Campbell this week, and I got to tell you, it's like I've never been so inspired. I go to church. My pastor's never gotten me that inspired. I've gone to a lot of TED Talks. Nothing. I mean, I came out of that with there's not 3 guys on earth that can fire me up like Dan Campbell did.
All right, final game.
Oh my
Monday.
God, he is going like. I can't wait for a Stafford boner too when Stafford makes it. Look at this right here. Barely looking the way he's looking him off.
Oh,
look.
Do you remember the Super Bowl? He was calling
Yeah.
Stafford.
Well, yeah.
That
I was at
him.
that game, so I didn't watch it. But
oh yeah. The final drive. He was all lubed up. That final Stafford drive. He kept being like, "This is gonna be one of the greatest drives in NFL Super Bowl history," and just Eagles Bucks. Philly is a 3-point favorite in Tampa. This is my toughest pick of the week. What are you gonna get? 9-8 Bucks team versus just a Eagles team that's in complete disarray at this point. What are you gonna get?
what I said last episode, I stand by. I have no fucking idea who to pick in this game because the 9-0 win when you needed a win against the Panthers. Is Baker hurt? I don't fucking know. Is Jalen Hurts hurt? 100%. What's hurting exactly? Well, we know his finger's hurting. What else is hurting? I don't know. Probably his back and his tush. From doing the Hurts 500 all season. I said last episode, I don't know who's going to win this game, but I know one thing. They're not winning another fucking playoff game. And I'm very confident in saying that right now. I'm going to take the Eagles to win and to cover.
Fuck it. I was going to as well. Just for the show.
Let's fucking go.
I'll take the Bucks.
What I hate about this is I'm going to be rooting so hard for the Bucks. I mean, so hard. I might buy a Bucks jersey. You know what I mean? Like I won't be rooting harder for any game this week than I'll be rooting for the Bucks, and I'll be rooting against my best interests in this situation. But I'm also in a playoff bracket, and I'm picking the Eagles to win. I'll be rooting against my best self-interest there. But I think as bad as this Eagles team have looked, at least they've fucking, it feels like they get it right for a week. They'll be sloppy. They'll be terrible. They'll win. Everybody be like, we're good, right? And then you're going to get, I don't care who you play next week. It's going to be a debacle.
Yeah, they're going to win like 17-13. So these picks are worth how many points? 1.
Regular old 1 point. Next week we'll go 2. Championship game will go 3. Super Bowl will go 4. Seems fun, right?
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Give us a ring. 3
loser has to go to the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving home game next year.
Oh man. At least I could drive there. Just follow the crack trail, right? 310-359-8365. If you're a Lions fan and if they win, please call in.
Please, absolutely.
Please share your jubilation.
And if you're a Lions fan and you lose, also please call in.
Dude, there's a lot of dumpster fire organizations playing this weekend. I kind of love it. You know, the Browns. You got the Lions. When's the last time the Browns and the Lions were in the playoffs together? Has it ever happened? Has it ever happened?
I'm sure it has happened, but I don't know. It feels like the Browns probably beat the Lions in one of the championship games that the Browns claim.
The last time the Browns and Lions made the playoffs was in 1994.
Herman Moore, Webster Slaughter.
Oh, those are some good ones. Herman Moore, Webster Slaughter. Would Perriman be on those Lions teams?
Probably.
Webster Slaughter. That's like a villain name. That was a great name.
Yeah,
Bernie Kosar'd still be playing quarterback, right?
probably. Sounds about
Who's
right.
Who's the QB? Kramer, Scott Mitchell,
Yeah,
one of those guys.
feels like Scott Mitchell. Feels like a Scott Mitchell era.
Well, let us know, guys. We'll be watching the games. It's a big old cold front's about to hit here, so I'll be hitting Sunday. I think Sunday or Monday. I'll be hunkered down.
How many Lions fans listen to the 8 Mile soundtrack on the way to that game? Dun, dun, dun. Jared Goff. Can Jay Lloyd just pull up a Jared Goff with mom's spaghetti on his jersey already?
I'm just seeing him shaking. I don't know why. He's got to go against his old team who dropped him, his old coach. Man, that's going to be interesting. You went from Los Angeles to Detroit.
No tight end. Probably.
Yeah,
Probably
the Laporta injury is huge. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
He's a great little safety valve. He's had a nice little season. They got a good running game, though.
They do.
They got a good little combo at running backs for the Lions. All right, guys. I think that's it for today.
Follow me at Joe Prano on all my social media. Posting a lot of stuff on Instagram as far as my shows go. Next weekend up in San Luis Obispo, I've already posted in my link tree some ticket links to the Don't Tell shows. If you want to come to the Sneaky Pete show, which is on Friday, slide into my DMs. I can give you the details to that. Arizona in March, Vegas again in March. Dirt balls. Are any of you in Utah? I think I'm coming to Utah.
Yeah, we got some dirt balls from Utah.
I believe I'm coming to Utah in early March with Eddie Ift, but thinking about maybe trying to tag on a Joe Prano night. If dirt balls want to slide in my DMs and say, I'm in Utah, I'll come to a Joe Prano show before the weekend with Eddie Ift. Slide into my DMs or just follow me at Joe Prano and go to joeprano.com for all my shows.
All right. That is our show. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. And as always, stay dirty.